It's the most important thing. What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, another live stream. We're going live tonight to talk about the Bulls win over the Indiana Pacers. Now, they ended up only winning this game by 8 points, but they led throughout the game. Won every quarter but the third quarter, tied the fourth quarter. But overall, Bulls play very solidly in this game, especially considering they're missing Lonzo Ball and Alex Caruso, two of their most versatile defenders. They guarded Sabonis very well in this game. He ended up with 14 points on 17 shots, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, but a plus minus of -4. Miles Turner, who seemed very uninterested throughout the game, finished with 19 points on 18 shots. So didn't really shoot effectively either one of the big men. They did allow Karis LeVert to get 27 points, and Duarte, who had just an amazing third quarter in which I think he scored 14 points in the third quarter. But outside of that, right, the Bulls thoroughly led this game. Zach LaVine with 32 points, DeMar DeRozan with 24 points, Vooch, another solid game from Vooch, 7 for 10, 2 for 3 from three-pointer, 15 rebounds, 16 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. That was a great game. Great stat line from Nikola Vucevic. Kobe White started this game 33 minutes, 3 for 10. Not the best game for him shooting wise. He was very active out there. He did start having some issues on defense in the second half. He played pretty solidly on defense in the first half. Very questionable in the second half. We saw them go to Io more so in the second half. And when Io came in, a lot of those defensive issues stopped. Io only took 4 shots this game, but played very, very well. Quality minutes from Matt Thomas as well in this game. Troy Brown Jr. gave us some solid minutes, had a positive plus minus. Overall, solid win from our Bulls, solid game, and this is the type of game that we want to see them win, excel at, and it was the next man up. Javonte Green had a solid game as well. This is just one of those games when you look at it, everyone had a pretty solid game, and that's what you want. Zach LaVine, especially in the second half of the third quarter and the beginning of the fourth quarter, really not completely taking over the game, but really being the go-to guy for a while there. DeMar seemed very frustrated in this game during certain points as well. They seemed to kind of take him out of this game, but overall, Bulls played a very, very good game tonight. This is not exactly what I called in my preview video, because when I was doing my preview video, I expected Lonzo to play in this game, but this is one of those games that the Bulls really showed up. Right, that's all that it came to. They played solidly, they played collectively, and they needed that. They needed that in the game where they were going to be missing Caruso and Lonzo Ball and their versatility on defense. They needed this team to really show up. And do their thing, and that's what it came down to. The Bulls were more talented. They should have won by a bigger margin, but we're going to take the win overall. Got that revenge game that we all wanted, right, as fans, especially for them to get in this game. And I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of the way that this team wins. When you have 2 players that are going to be all-stars, right, 2 players that are both in MVP consideration, this is the type of game you want from them. Now, the Bulls have some tests coming up. Do they continue to start Kobe White? Do they decide to go ahead and try to start Io, who in this game had the Io's floater, right? If he keeps going with that floater and that drops, that's going to be an important weapon, especially on this team. But we know Atlanta's going to be missing Collins in probably both of those games unless he ends up testing out. We'll see what that happens. Got a conspiracy theory if that ends up being the case. But overall in this game, solid W from the team. And this is what you want to see. This is what you want to see from a team. From a team that's supposed to be a playoff team, right? A team that we think has aspirations for more than just a playoff berth, more than just to host a home series, more than that. We want this team to continue to win, and they need to grit this out and win. They're gonna have to do solid things in Atlanta. We have a home in Atlanta. We go there first, then they're here in Chicago on Wednesday. But Bulls right now working with the 3-game winning streak. I had said, now I predicted this before the Lonzo thing, right? But don't be surprised if the Bulls start going on a little run here. A mixture between of just favorable schedule on top of like them having the energy and determination, especially coming out of COVID, the excitement of having just about everyone back. Don't be surprised if the Bulls go on a little run here. Now, there could be a trap game along there as well, but don't be surprised if the Bulls go on a run. And they're on a run considerably anyway. When you look at the Bulls last let's say 10 games, I believe they won 8 games out of those last 10 games, at least 7 out of those last 10 games. The Bulls are balling. The Bulls are playing. I'm looking at the schedule right here. So we have 3 wins, we had 2 losses, then we had 4 wins in a row after that. So right there, that's 7 out of 9. So yeah, so the Bulls are playing really good, and they're on a run overall. So it's Bulls are doing good things. Bulls are doing good things. Let's start going to the comments and see what we have. Fabian, 3-game winning streak. Absolutely. Absolutely. We want more. To quote Kobe Bryant, more. We need more. Freedom, I'm on season calendar and I lost. LOL. What? I'm lost. Now I'm lost. Blah. Had to watch Pacers broadcast. It just made me more thankful for Stacey King. Good win. Zach really was the best player on the floor tonight. Absolutely. Zach was definitely the best player on the floor tonight, and that's what you want to see from him. He knew what he had to do when the Bulls, they went down to single digits there for a while. Zach LaVine came in. I think he had a 3 and then a big layup back to back. So 5 points back to back to push it back up. Now the Bulls ended up only winning by 8, but Zach knows what he has to do. He knows what he has to do. Frank Jose, good win. Absolutely good win from our team. Freedom, my Bulls are going to have a solid year. They're already having a solid year. This is an important year. Blah. Io was better than Kobe tonight, in my opinion. I will still start Kobe while Lonzo was out. Yeah, the thing is that Kobe, I don't think is, if we're looking at Kobe getting in rhythm shooting, I don't think he's ever going to do that when he's playing point guard. Like, that's just my opinion on Kobe from seeing him in his time here so far when he was a starting point guard and seeing him this season. I just don't think Kobe is going to have the scoring night that he can if he was playing off ball and not doing a lot of the ball handling. Now, with that being said, like I said in the halftime hangout, Kobe played very solidly on defense in that first half. He also had his head up and made some very solid passes in that first half as well. Now, the defense kind of it went left, right, in the second half of the game, but if Kobe can play that solid and not get in his head, it seems like when the shot isn't falling, and still play solid on both sides of the ball, Kobe is going to continue to be a positive overall player on this team. So having Kobe play on defense the way that he has been is going to be key and going to be huge. So yeah, definitely. We definitely want to continue to see growth from Kobe White. Sabonis gets away with a lot of offensive foul. He gets away with a lot of elbows as well, some push-offs. He absolutely does. But it happens. Unfortunately, it happens. Every player has, well, a lot of players have their little things they get away with. Still key players out versus a bad matchup, and we got the job done with our stars taking over when we needed them to. Can't ask for much more. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it sucks that they gave up the lead when they really should have been extending it at one point. Sucks to have lose another third quarter, but overall, the team did what it needed to do, and it took care of business, and that's very important, very, very important. Rosen look a little shook during the MVP chance, making me worry about home in the play. Oh no, don't you're thinking way too far ahead. I don't even think it was necessarily that. I think he was pissed off at the refs. Like Demar was pissed off for a lot of points in this game. I don't think it was necessarily an MVP chance. Don't start worrying about that or playoff time. We're so far away from that. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Pacers are a crazy team. Their net rating would suggest that they're over 500, but they've choked a bunch of games and have a shit record. Yeah, I mean that's why stats don't tell everything. Stats don't tell the full story. Really, they're a small portion of the story when you really look at, like, for people who really watch basketball. But yeah, it's for sure because the Pacers play, and I wouldn't be surprised if in the second half of the season the Pacers, figure out some things depending on what moves they make, if they trade away the players that they're trying to trade or anything. But yeah, for sure. Cavs, beating what was 144 to 90 something? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. I don't know why I just brought up the Cavs because it's on my mind. What do you see the night that the Bulls did? Well, they played defense as a team very well. They rebounded well overall. Now, of course, we know that the Pacers and how good they are in rebounding, but let's look at the rebound battle real quick. 45-40. That's not that bad, all things considering. Considering we're playing a 6'4" player at power forward, and there are a lot of times where Javonte Green was playing very good defense, even having his hands up in great position. But just because he doesn't have the length over a player like Turner, Turner was able to still get some shots off and knock down some shots. But the Bulls played very good defensively overall in this game. Very, very good, considering all things considered. And I would like to see more assists from the Bulls. But again, considering they have their point guard and their backup point guard out, this team did very, very well. Very well. A lot of positives in this game tonight. Matthew Green. Also, I'm very happy with the new Levine jersey. Oh, shout out. You got the new, was it the Jersey City edition? Let me know which one it was. Bulls are still a stacked team, even with, especially with Vooch playing well. I'm telling you right now, the thing is that when Vooch is playing well, even if Lonzo's not out there, the offense is so versatile, right? And you've seen that. You see when teams are worried about Vooch getting hot and Vooch knocking down his shots, that they get him on this team. The offense is so much more fluid. Javonte Green gets easier shots. Everyone gets easier shots. Now, again, I'm not saying that Vooch is the key to the offense by any stretch of the imagination, but it just makes things so much easier for everyone out there when Vooch is playing well. And we got to see that tonight. We got to see that, and we're going to have to see more of that with Lonzo being out. AE23, let's go. Sloppy at the end, but good W. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, when you are a good defensive team, you're going to get those sloppy wins. You're going to see those wins that look a little iffy, that look a little tougher than they should be, but our team pulled it out, and that's what matters. The team pulled it out. Even though we won, I would like to see them continue to go to Vooch. He was cooking. Yep. Hey, Vooch had the hot hand. And there was a period of time in the stretch where it's just like, it felt like, right? I don't know for sure, but it felt like they went to Vooch on like 4 or 5 possessions in a row. And at least 4 out of those, he knocked down the shot. And then it was good to see Vooch put the ball on the floor, right? Try to get to the middle a little bit more. Vooch's confidence is building. And I'm telling you what right now, and shout out to Shea. I don't know if he's in here, but Shea had been saying Vooch is going to get cooking by February. And we're heading into January, and Vooch is confident. Vooch is looking confident. He got a little bit of a swagger back. I'm telling you, if we get better Vooch for the rest of the season, Bulls are going to be a dangerous team. Pair that with how more aggressive Lonzo was getting, especially with DeMar and Levine out. I'm not saying that we're going to get that version of Lonzo all the time, but this team is dangerous, man. This team is stacked. I love Kobe White like the next Bulls fan, but he was horrible defensively. The first half, he was so-so. The second half, we leak point whenever he touched the court. No, he was more than so-so first half. Kobe White played very good, very solidly first half. And again, for how bad Kobe has been, second half was doo-doo. Like that, there's no sugarcoating that. Second half, Kobe White was doo-doo. And when Kobe's shot isn't falling and he's playing bad defense, he's not a net positive for this team, but it's good that we have IO. And keep in mind, overall, this is not going to be Kobe's role right now. I know we drafted him thinking he was going to be a point guard of the future, but Kobe is technically playing out of position when he's playing point guard. So because of that, I'm not going to hold it against him too much. We do need him to shoot at a better clip for sure. But once we get 2 point guards back and Kobe basically is not going to have to do any ball handling duties, it's going to change a lot. And then let's not knock on the fact that we haven't seen Kobe really play with Alfonso McKinney yet as well. Like it's going to open some things up. We got to talk about Tyler Cook at some point too. We have to talk about Tyler Cook at some point. We'll talk about it in the stream. DeMar let the refs get in his head tonight. He was throwing his arms up and yelling for a foul pretty much on every drive. He really affected his play. Yes, completely agree with that. And there's a time all that, like he was looking and talking to the ref and you can see in his face, he's like, come on, man. And we can't do that. You can't do that as a veteran. You don't want to do that. And I got on Levine when Levine was doing this, so I have to be the same and talk the same about DeRozan. You can't let the refs get in your head. Yes, it's going to suck. You're not going to get calls every night, but you can't let that take you out the game. Your team needs you in the game. And DeMar, overall, he did overcome it, but there was a stretch there where he let the refs frustrate him too much. In your opinion, what do we need to do to get over that third quarter slump? Just make better adjustments. I think what it boils down to is that what we're seeing is that the Bulls come back with the same game plan, and then the other team comes out of halftime with a slightly different game plan. And it's not always our offense. Sometimes it's our defense. They just need to make better adjustments. I feel. But again, I'm not a coach. I don't get paid enough for that. Pacers were all over DeMar in that second half. Would have liked to see him pass a little quicker some possessions. But listen, there was one possession in specific, but I think that may have been towards the end of the second quarter where They were doubling DeMar in the post. The guy rotated over, and DeMar just didn't see Kobe White was over towards the side, wide open, and they just did not see Kobe. Now, Kobe didn't shoot very well, so the shot may have not gone down overall, but DeMar just didn't see Kobe. So, yeah, but that, again, I think plays into the frustration a little bit as well. Bleacher Report needs to be on Shaqtin' the Fool saying DeMar signing is the worst in free agent history. Well, that was voted by like GMs and stuff too. Like there's a lot of people who need to be on Shaqtin' the Fool for that. Matthias, we are watching every single player in the team fighting to keep their spot on the roster. Great win tonight. Greetings from Argentina. Go Bulls. Shout out to Argentina for sure. Oh, there goes the question. I said we were going to talk about Cook at some point. How do you feel about, listen, I'm telling you right now, Tyler Cook may damn near, like the fact that we played him and we didn't see Ersan in this game at all, I think shows that this coaching staff sees something in Tyler Cook. Like I said, 6'8", 255, his quickness, his foot speed, his athleticism, his agility, him playing smart defense. He did some very smart defensive rotations out there tonight. Only 15 minutes from Tyler Cook. I would have liked to see him a little bit more in the second half. But hey, 5 rebounds, 15 minutes, 5 rebounds, 1 block, only 1 turnover. And he did have 3 fouls and 4 points. I believe in Tyler Cook. I really, really believe in Tyler Cook. And if not this season, next season, we may not need our power forward woes. We may not have him between having Patrick Williams back healthy and Tyler Cook. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Tyler Cook is looking good out there. Good out there in limited time. Good out there for sure. You think we win this game if the Pacers didn't shoot horrible from 3? Yeah, I think we still win this game because of how well we play. Now, I mean, the thing is, even if they did shoot better from 3, something else is gonna. It's not like if the Bulls would have made adjustments or whatever else. The 8 for 30 from 3 for the Pacers tonight. You can't bet on them shooting that horrible. Bulls were 11 from 23 from 3. But we still had the best player on the court, so I still trust that we would have been able to figure it out. If you were to pick, what coach do you want for the Bulls? An A+ offensive coach or A+ defensive coach? I would say defense, because I think the Bulls have enough offensively talented players that they are going to be able to score. So I would definitely say defense if I had to pick one. Defense wins championships. Can't wait till we have our full. Listen. And I talked about it on my first video today. I thought it was going to be my only video before I had to record 3 more videos because of updates to shit. But once we do have our full roster back, including Patrick Williams, if he does come back this season, this is a dangerous, dangerous team. Definitely, for sure. Bench mob getting it done again. The bench mob plays solidly on defense. They didn't play as well on offense as I would have liked to see. 20 points from the Bulls bench on offense. You would definitely think that would be more, especially when you have a player like Derrick Jones Jr. and Alex Caruso come back. But they played very solidly today. Javante, Zach, and Derek in the dunk contest would be crazy. Well, Zach definitely isn't doing any more dunk contests. Derek, I hope, is in the dunk contest. And Javante, every game has a dunk that could have been a poster. He either gets fouled or something happens. But I'm telling you, we're going to get a dunk at some point this season from Javante Green that is one of the best dunks in the whole NBA this season. Just watch. It's going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. Matthew, my wife gave my mother-in-law very specific instructions for the city edition, but ended up just getting our red away Chinese whispers on the Xmas present. My first jersey since D Rose in 11. Well, good you got a jersey. The city edition ones, are they still sold out? I don't know. I miss you, Lonzo. I can't live without you. Well, you're living now. You typed it, so you're fine. You're alive, right? You're alive. Was hoping to see Ilyasova play. Yeah, I really thought we were going to see him play too. I very heavily in my preview video, I said we're going to see a lot of Ilyasova tonight, Ersan tonight, and we did not. We just didn't. Tyler Cook stepped in, took all of the minutes that would have gone to Tony Bradley. That tells me the fact that they went to a player that has been majorly in the G League this season instead of a vet who you should be able to trust, right? I think shows that they see a lot of promise in Tyler Cook, and they probably wanted to see how he does with DeMar and Zach and having just a more full complement to the roster out there. But Tyler Cook is showing a lot of things, and he's turning some heads. He should definitely be if he's not. And the fact that Tyler over Marco, it's a good thing, at least this season, right? I'm not saying overall, but yeah, I would love to see Tyler Cook really earn that spot to stay on this roster full time. Why Demar is a guard in all-star voting? Zach and Demar deserve listen. The fix is in. The NBA knows what the fuck they're doing. Demar, looked it up. Demar has played like 5% or less at the guard so far this season. The fact that they listed DeMar as a guard to me was just them trying to stack the decks to not have the Bulls have two All-Stars. And they may still get it, right? But that sucks. Like, who would do? DeMar has played more forward than any other time. Like, why as a guard? I need somebody on the NBA team and committee to explain that to me. What would you give your overall feedback and grade on Fleming? What do you think we missed or did better? I don't know if we did. It was a lot of the same, right? Had I not known that Billy Donovan was out there just looking at the game, I don't think anything really stood out as far as different. What I would say is that he did use a different combination, it felt like, of players out there sometimes than what he did, like having DeMar go down, and then at one point Io came in for him, and they left Kobe out there. I was really surprised. So, those type of things I noticed a little bit, but overall great. I mean, I'll give him a solid B. If we didn't have that down third quarter, give up a solid lead and, only win by 8, it would be higher than that. But again, I don't really think that it was too different from what Billy Donovan did. It just really felt like a continuation of the scheme that they have built. And that's why I said on like my preview video, like assistant coaches have a bigger role in helping decide the game plan than what I think we give them credit for sometimes. And that's what I think was evident tonight, in my opinion. Leonard, what's up, bro? Our Bulls got that win, and the league can hold that L with the Pacers. I love you, Leonard, man. I love you, Leonard. Jarek, good game, man. Yeah, absolutely good game. I covered -6.5. That was a big sweat. Yeah, I don't do plus. I don't bet on. I don't bet at all. I don't like losing my money, so I don't bet. Rush were off tonight. The fact that DeMar only had 7 free throws was wild. He got hacked all over the floor tonight, especially in the paint, and still managed to have a good game. By the way, all-star duo back. Good to have them back. I thought DeMar was going to get ejected. A fair bit of calls were missed. Listen, DeMar was getting pissed, especially when you look at like over the course of the season. He's always, I would wager a bet that he's had more double-digit free throw games than probably anyone else in the league. And the fact that he didn't is crazy. It's crazy. Torian, hit that like button. Yeah, hit that like button, everyone. There's over 100 of you guys in there. Let's get up over 100 likes on this video. Let me get that. I need that. That's a form of currency here on YouTube because it helps more people see these videos. Real Stars Cream? Real Star Cream? Scream Cream? I don't know. Is it Stars Cream or is it Star Scream? Real Star Scream? Like the Decepticon? You're a Decepticon? We got Decepticons watching the stream? That's how you know you made it. The fact DeMar didn't even get a T tells you the refs knew they were robbing it. Fix was in, bro. The fix is in a lot. Nude Nut? Your name is Nude Nut? That's actually kind of dope. Aussie fans since '88 and loving the new look Bulls. I know fans want a power forward, but the chemistry and unselfishness we have is unreal. When it works, it works. And that's part of the reason why, for fans that are like calling for us to trade for another star or trade for somebody who's going to need like offense called for them to be effective, I just don't think it's going to happen. The Bulls are going to get somebody who can hit open shots but don't need offense called for them, because that's what makes this team more dangerous. And period. So yeah, you're right on the mark there. I am Skokes. T Cook grinded out there. Now listen, I'm becoming a Tyler Cook fan more and more every time I see him play. Every time I see him play, he does some stuff out there that makes me say, listen, I know some people are going to disagree with this, and some people may hit the like button for this. I'm willing to bet right now Tyler Cook is a better basketball player than Tony Bradley. Not to say that he's not going to make some mistakes himself. He's not going to have games where we look at him and we're like, get his ass out of there. But overall, when you look at, I know Tony Bradley is young as well, but I would bet on Tyler Cook's potential more than I would Tony Bradley's potential right now. That's just my opinion. Cap lives. Caught the end of the game. Our last 4 or 5 offensive possessions only mounted to 1 point. We got to get exactly. That's why you see the lead do what he does. We absolutely have to get better than that. Hawks fan. Vuk double is nice. Yep. I hope you're here for the live stream after we play your team the next 2 games as well. But yeah, double is definitely nice. Definitely nice. We got good Vooch tonight. Once in the playoffs, do you think we go 10 deep or the shortened roster? I definitely rosters shorten the longer you go in the playoffs. First round, I think we'll still see a 10-man rotation. Second round, probably more like a 9-man rotation, and then you'll see that the rest of the series with some other players thrown in there. But the main part of the minutes are probably going to go to about 9 players in the playoffs, and that may even shorten down to 8 if you have like we face a team that one of the players in our rotation just doesn't match up good against. So we'll see. Well, and it could be more than that, especially when Patrick Williams come back. We'll see, because I think at this point, let's say right now we know our starting 5 is going to get minutes, right? Out that Caruso's definitely going to get his time. Derrick Jones Jr. is definitely going to get his time as well. I think Io, if he's playing well in the playoffs, has definitely showed that he deserves his time. McKinney, the Bulls have a lot of players potentially, right? But it depends on how it all works out. But we definitely got a deep bench for sure, a deep roster for sure, especially when Patrick Williams comes back. And one thing that I can't wait to see personally is the way that Javonte Green's energy is. Him coming off the bench with that energy and that defense. Keep in mind, Javonte's played out of position this whole season. Us having and moving Javonte Green to the bench and bringing another player off the bench who can guard 2, 3, and 4, he's shown he can guard now in some matchups. That's going to continue to be dangerous, man. The Bulls, telling you, and this may be why we're not seeing the Bulls that have not made a move yet. If they know Patrick Williams is coming back, if they're not releasing and they really trust that he's going to be back and ready to go by the playoffs, that may be why we're not seeing them make any moves. Last I checked, City Editions. Okay, I figured. Back to Hawks fans. Glad offense can function with and without Zoe for sure. And I mean, I thought that would be the case because they run so much of their offense through DeMar at times as well that they were going to be fine there. Not to at all say that we don't need Lonzo or anything like that. Please don't run with that. But the Bulls are going to be able to stay afloat for a while without Zoe. Levine MVP. Hey, DeMar got those MVP chants today though. Ricky Fontaine, good team win. Hopefully people see the importance of Zoe with the minor turnovers. Yeah, the Bulls would have played a lot smoother, right? With Zoe out there, you would think. I like Tyler Cook over Tony Bradley. Me as well. I just said that. I'm glad that we're on the same wavelength there. Let me know in the chat. Let me know your opinion. Right now, if you were the coach of the Chicago Bulls and Tony Bradley and Tyler Cook were healthy, who would get those minutes from you right now? Who would get those minutes? Let me know. Got to say, I was disappointed in the hometown broadcast. They didn't use Stacey King's poster maker when Zach jammed on Craig. Yeah, I mean, they should have. Zach did this thing out there. DeMar and Zach will both be all-stars, but Zach will most likely be a reserve with the starters probably being Tay, DeMar, KD, Giannis, Embiid. The Bulls have locked up 2 all-stars 100%. You think DeMar is going to get the votes over DeMar? I don't know. I mean, he should, right? I mean, I would can see a world in which he does. I can see a world in which they're both starters. So we'll see. Our third quarter always gets us in trouble, but luckily we're fourth quarter kings. I mean, we tied in the fourth quarter, this fourth quarter. So it could have still went very ugly, but yeah, we got to get those third quarters figured out for sure. The Bulls only have 17 assists on 43 field goals. What you think about that? That's what happens when you're missing 2 of your point guards. That's just what happens. Like, yes, we don't run our offense all the time through Zoe, but keep in mind, Kobe started in place of Zoe. Kobe had 1 assist. Zoe gets 4 or 5 assists sneezing out there. So that on top of Caruso, who would have made things easier on the bench as well, it just happens. That's what's going to happen when you're missing your point guards out there. Defense was shaky when DeMar and Zach were both on the floor together. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I would have to go back and look at the actual numbers of that and the analytics for that, because historically we've been a better team defensively with DeMar on the court. So, I mean, we'll take a look at that for sure. I'm not doubting it. I just would have to take a look at the numbers. I told people about Tyler Cook. He's good second team power forward. Well, he's playing center out there. And, I'm telling you. And I can understand why they wanted maybe Tyler Cook to get some more seasoning in the G League. But sometimes you're not going to be able to keep telling stuff from a player in the G League. Sometimes you just need to bring them up and see what they do in actual NBA competition. And Tyler Cook is showing that he belongs. He belongs. I would, as much as people are talking about Matt Smith over cutting, over McKinney ends up with we cut Haize. I wouldn't be mad. Like Matt Thomas gave us some very good minutes tonight as well. Like, let me be clear. I think I said Matt Smith earlier. Matt Thomas gave us some very good minutes in this game as well. But I would not be mad at all if they replace that man with Tyler Cook, especially once everybody's back. I would not be mad at that at all. You're right. Lonzo would be missed. He controls the game and doesn't turn the ball over. You just missed the execution on that for sure. Jack is truth. Good win. Definitely, Jack. Definitely. Good win out there for sure. Ronald Pollard, got your back, bro. Did I miss something? I'm not sure. Not sure. Ronald, good win. Absolutely good win from our team. Back to my boy Leonard. Yes, that's why I said the league can hold that L. They're planning and scamming against our Bulls. That way they put DeMar. That's the reason I'm guessing that I put DeRozan as a guard. Man, listen, I need whoever decided to put him in as a guard for voting, that motherfucker needs a kick in the nuts immediately. That's why his wife doesn't love him. Somebody who does something like that makes a decision. You just know their wives. They just make dumbass decisions all the time. Don't forget, Chris Broussard said the Bulls would be fighting for. Yeah, I would never forget that. Fuck that motherfucker. Tyler Cook played solid defense, and Vooch was good too. Vooch played very good defense on Sabonis today. Very active, very focused as well. I've been telling people, hey, deep, as much as I say don't just focus on the box score, I really do like to use the advanced analytics because they look at so many other things. And advanced analytics show that Vooch is in the top half of centers defensively in the league. That's just what they show. He was 5th last season in advanced analytics defensively. Vooch is not as bad as some people make him out to be. I'm not saying that he's great or he's even great one-on-one in most cases. I'm not saying that I would want to bet on him all the time, but he's not as bad defensively as what some people in their narrative that they run with it. I love this win without Zoe and AC, who provided much of our pace, momentum, and defense. Bulls got it done. Absolutely, JDH. Absolutely. Did you see me shout you out in my first video today? I can't believe I dropped. This will be my 6th video today, counting the halftime hangout. Fucking crazy, man. The Bulls have me working. I need to be on payroll. Something about Ilyasova in a Bulls jersey makes me laugh. I didn't even pay attention to him out there. Did you think COVID-19 would play a part in the Bulls run as far as the playoffs? At that point, everyone would, and people can get COVID twice, right? We know that you can get COVID more than one time, but at this point, like, who's left on the roster who hasn't got it? Caruso hasn't gotten him because he's mainly been injured, right? He's only played, like, I think 1 game during the whole time that this has been going on. So Caruso hasn't gotten it yet so far. Is he the only player left on this team that didn't come during, but is he the only one left that didn't go into health and safety? Somebody do the check on that. Relax, watch. Sabonis and Turner overrated as fuck. Well, I think Turner's just ready to go. Like, that's what I'm getting out there. Sabonis is solid, but he's not as solid as like some people make him out to be. Not to make him out to be. Tyler Cook deserves more minutes over. Absolutely, that's what I think as well. I think he gives you. While I wouldn't want to bet on Tyler Cook offensively, I wouldn't want to like run whole sets for Tyler Cook, but I would trust him more. Like, the thing is that we see with Tony Bradley so much is that he doesn't just go up physically. Tyler Cook is physical as fuck out there, and that's what you want to see from a backup center. Tyler Cook just a wider Derek. No, he has more length. He has more size. Derek Jones Jr. is only 6'6". Tyler Cook 6'8", so it's more size. So it's more than that. Tyler Cook isn't on this level. I've seen him out there play. I'm not saying that he belongs as a starter. I'm not even saying he belongs like getting heavy minutes, but throwing 10, 12 minutes a night at Tyler Cook's way, I don't think he'd do bad for you. I agree with keeping chemistry together. You see DDR embrace Zach. That teamwork is so dope. Absolutely. For sure. Definitely better than Bradley. And Bradley has his games, right? But yeah, for sure. We just need paint defense. Wouldn't miss Bradley or Cook. Give me Turner. Again, I've talked about this. Heavily. Turner's defensive rating in advanced analytics is only 0.02%. I mean, not 0.02 points over Vooch. There's not really that much. And Vooch is way more efficient scorer than Turner. Now, Turner does shoot at a higher clip, but it's really not that much difference. And the thing with Turner too is it's not like you're just plugging him in defensively. He also has to play some offense. Turner is terrible at passing. He's not a good passer. He's not a good passer at all. And he doesn't have good vision. The thing that makes the Bulls so potent out there is the ball movement. You give all that up with Turner. You're not what you get and gain defensively is so mitigated by what would take away from the way that this Bulls team plays offense that it's really a net loss. Hawks fan, Hawks are in a tailspin right now, man. Hey, we've gone through it. You go through it. I completely understand. Thomas, wifey got me 100 level tickets for the game tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to seeing this team in person. Oh, shouts out to you, bro. Shouts out to you. You're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun for sure. So you live in Atlanta? Shout out to you there. Shout out to you there. Are we cutting Thomas on this showing? What? No, I mean, no. Thomas played pretty good. I mean, so no. And right now, you don't have to make that decision. The reason why they cut Haize is because his deal was going to go guaranteed. Matt Thomas is fully non-guaranteed. They can cut him at any time. So, yeah, they're not going to cut him right now. The amount of depth this team has is effing crazy. It absolutely is. Absolutely is. Do you think it bothers LaVine a little? No, listen. The way that DeMar has embraced, the way that LaVine has embraced DeMar, the way that LaVine has embraced just being a franchise player and his teammates as a whole, and just being on a winning team, and how appreciative Zach is to finally be on a team that's winning. No, I bet you it doesn't bother. He's probably one of the happiest people for Demar Derozan. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Do you think the jab is going to play a part in the playoffs? The jab? What do you mean? What's the jab? I'm lost. I thought D would fall off a cliff without Zone Caruso. And again, it's not. So keep in mind, the Bulls were ranked 12th in defense last season with much worse defenders than what they have out there right now. Because of that, the Bulls coaching staff coaches good, solid team defense. They're going to be solid defensively. They're not going to be as potent, right? They're not going to be as versatile, but they're going to play solid defense more times than not, for sure. Ronald Pollard, Tyler Cook brings rugged toughness. I really do like that kid for sure a lot. BV, keep up the content, bro. This community is dope. That's what Chicago Bulls Central is all about. It's about community. It's about you guys. That's why I start off the show with about a 10-minute thing that I want to talk about on live streams. After that, it's just my time to interact with you guys. That's it. I love you guys, man. The community we build in Hill is dope. Daily Insomnia podcast. Could Williams hurt our chemistry, though, if we give him minutes over Green? No, keep in mind, a player who isn't looked at like anybody who plays solid defense, doesn't need offense called for them, and just knows when to pass the ball according to the scheme, is not going to hurt our chemistry. And so, no, I mean, when you look at it, what Javonte Green does is probably exactly what Patrick Williams is going to be called to do. Hit open shots when you have them, play solid defense, keep your head up, pass the ball, get it out of your hands when you don't have a shot. Patrick Williams can do all those things very effectively. It's all about if Patrick Williams is going to trust his body when he comes back. A lot of what we saw with Patrick Williams at the start of this was all because he wasn't trusting his body. He had what was then his first major injury. This one's even more serious. So with that all being said, it depends on how much Patrick Williams trusts his body and they get him back in rhythm, but I don't think it's going to hurt our chemistry. Back-to-back tomorrow could get rough against Atlanta. They could postpone the game, though. I'm not sure where it sits right now with Atlanta and how many players they have in health and safety. I know Collins went in. Let's take a look real quick and see what we have. Herter is out tomorrow. Trae Young will not be cleared in time for Monday's game against the Bulls. Jalen Johnson's out. John Collins is going to be out. Especially if Trey is going to be out. No. I think the Bulls are going to be able to pull at least that first one out. Now they're coming off a back-to-back. If Trey's back, it could get very interesting. But I trust the Bulls to be able. Again, not at all saying, especially with where we are right now, that it's just going to be a walk in the park. But I think it's going to be a pretty good game for the Bulls tomorrow. At the end of the day, the All-Star voting is a popularity contest, sadly. Yeah, but didn't they recently change it where it's not just off fan votes? Like, isn't it weighed a little bit differently? I can't remember anymore, but yeah. I mean, it is a popularity contest. Can Cook guard bigs like Embiid, Giannis, and McGee? I guess Bradley can. Exactly. And keep in mind, it's not just about one-on-one. Everybody focuses and makes it too much about, hey, can you guard this player one-on-one? When it comes down to defense, so with the way that good teams, and this team plays defense, it's about team defense. It's about the scheme. It's not always about the one-on-one matchups. So with that being said, you know, Tyler Cook isn't going to be a starter. We're not looking at him to come in and be a starter against those people. Even if he does play, he's going to definitely be coming off the bench. So he's not going to be, his minutes against those players are going to be mitigated. Tyler Cook can play very good defense. Miss Stacey King. Hey, listen, let me tell you, I didn't realize how much I missed and how much Stacey King added to my experience as a viewer of these games until we didn't have him. Just period. Didn't realize it. Most fans and fan pages have recognized DeMar having a slightly better season than Zach. So I think non-Bulls fans are voting DeMar, but importantly, the thing is both will be C. They're both going to get votes. I trust they're both going to get in the All-Star game. Tyler Cook over Bradley all day from Frank Jose. Matthias, Tony Bradley is in trouble. An athletic big is our next target. We don't have the size to match Philly and the Bucks, and he is not the answer. Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, I don't want to see Tony Bradley. I'm not saying at all Tony Bradley needs to go off this team. We'll see how he develops over the course of this. It's still a very young season, how he develops, how the coaching staff continues to work with him, another offseason with him and stuff like that. But, you know, he hasn't been great. He's had really good stretches where he looked good, but he hasn't been great. Most fans, I already read that one. Damn, my bad. Vooch needs some love for his defense. Now, he needs more recognition for his defense overall. And the thing is like what Bulls fans have done is with Vooch is the exact same thing that analysts did heading into the Bulls this season. They picked a narrative and they stick on that regardless of everything else. Analysts picked this narrative that the Bulls are going to be bad defensively. Things like that. It didn't hold to be true. And then now, you know, they're just not talking about it. Bulls fans just assume Vooch is going to be terrible defensively. If you really look at a lot of things, they're not as bad defensively as some people make them out to be. Not saying he's worldly or anything like that, but he's not as bad defensively nearly as some people try to make him out to be day to day. That's just my opinion on it. Sorry about my dogs, by the way. Everyone knows Zach doesn't play defense. I hate that he could be so deadly. Oh, no, that's not true. That's another narrative that people get stuck on. Zach has been very good, very solid defensively this year, very solid defensively. And the big part of that is how Lonzo makes it easier on defense for everyone out there, the way that he communicates. But no, everybody says Zach doesn't play defense. I need you to get in 2021, not in 2018. Zach absolutely plays defense. Wake up. So do you feel is the MVP DeMar or Zach LaVine? Co-MVPs. If we're talking about of the team, they're co-MVPs. They make things easier for each other out there. Absolutely. Kobe White took care of the basketball tonight. I thought that was excellent. Did he have any turnovers? Did Kobe White have any turnovers tonight? Let's see. He had 2 turnovers tonight. 2 turnovers tonight. 1 assist, 2 turnovers. Drop the link. Drop what link? What link? I'm not sure what link you're talking about. Shout out to my boy Flight Sports TV for sure. Zach's been playing really good defense this season. Give him a break. Just got back from protocols and had some bad turnovers, but nonetheless, exactly. Zach has been playing very solid defense this season. Now he did have some head. Just I don't understand some of the turnovers he had, but he did play overall pretty good. First time in your live, bro. Much love on the channel. Good feedback and content. I appreciate you, Maverick. Appreciate you. Who they putting above DeMar at forward? I don't even know. I didn't even look. Like, once I saw that, I didn't even pay attention to what else. That one play when Zach and Kobe. Oh, man, that was Kobe's fault, though. That was 100% Kobe's fault. And that's not just because I like Zach so much. Just looking at that play, Kobe had his head down a little bit. Zach saw him. Zach even tried to move out the way a little bit. Kobe was focused on trying not to lose his man, and he bumped into Zach. I think DeMar played more minutes at power. Absolutely. Absolutely this season. It's crazy. I mean, he said they were Caruso's Baba Tunde. That is a great name, Baba Tunde. Any updates on Caruso? Just asking. They said he won't be evaluated for 7 to 10 days. That was on the 23rd. So if it ends up being the 7-day mark, that's Thursday. So he may be able to be back for the game on Saturday. So we'll see. But no updates as of right now. They're probably not going to update till he's ready to come back at that point. Trying not to get too hyped because it was the Pacers, but damn, this bench is starting to look deep. And keep in mind, we're still missing Derrick Jones Jr., still missing Alex Caruso. Yeah, for sure. Go X Central, loving the show, fam. Just what the Bulls fan need. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I'm building almost 5 months, not even 5 months yet. This channel has been around, and our growth here has been crazy. I set a yearly goal for this channel to pass 2,000 subscribers. We passed that in 3 months. 3 months. So now I've updated it. I'm hoping that we can have 5,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So we'll see with that. I think we're at like 2,600 right now. Continue pushing, man. It's a grind. Continue pushing. I love this. Which is basically what they wanted Brad Miller to be. Brad Miller was good for us. Like, let's be clear. Especially in that Boston series. That's like one of the greatest first round series of all time. Like, Brad Miller was key in that series. Bitch ass Rondo like made him lose a tooth or something. But yeah, Brad Miller was important for us for a little stretch there. I miss Zach with the Froby. That ball. Listen, that cut ain't it. That cut ain't it. 6 video AK needs to pay this man. Listen, the Bulls said, hey, Haize took, because I did a live stream Christmas Eve night, and I was like, there's no way that I'm doing any videos Christmas Day unless something happens that the news just drops and it's like season ending for the Bulls. I'm not doing a video. I feel like the Bulls franchise saw that and was like, hold our beer. Haize, you working today. That's what I feel like what happened. That's what I feel like happened. After this game, can we please stop saying that Turner would help us, dude? That's what I was just saying. He's not a passer either. He's not a passer at all for us. He's just not. He would not. He's not a good passer. The ball movement would completely slow down. I swear Levine looked like he got lined up with a hot link. Damn. Y'all on that man. Do you think the Hawks game would be canceled? What do you expect for tomorrow's game? Listen, with Trey and Collins being out, it can get very ugly very quick for the Hawks. I hope the game's not canceled, not just because I want to see us win or anything, but just because we have had so many canceled games recently that I just want to see my Bulls play. That's all it boils down to. Win, lose, or draw, I just want to see my Bulls play. Yes, Zoe said the media jinxed him about COVID because he said he just played the game and go home, and now he has it. Listen, it's always so many conspiracy theories, man. Turner could fit on our team, but he'll cost too much. Listen, I don't say certainties very often. Like, you can technically make any player fit on a team just depending, but what it would have to change so much. Again, you don't want somebody on this team right now to add that has to have offense called for them. And Turner is that, and he's not a good passer either. So it's going to completely change the makeup of this team. So yeah, and like you said too, though, the key point in what you said, it's not a realistic trade. The Bulls just don't have the assets for that. They just don't have it. Call me crazy, but the P.O. injury may have been a blessing. The Bulls have found guys that can play position, makes them deeper than what we thought going into the season. Well, that would have probably been found out over the course. Keep in mind, it's not just about game times. The coaches and everything see players in practice. That's how they trust them to even get them in the game and then to see if they perform. But I trust that we would have gotten a look at a lot of these players either way. Now, would we have gotten Alfonso McKinney, like if it wasn't for COVID and everything, and gotten a look at him? Probably not. Would Tyler Cook have been called up? So I guess in what you're saying there, I definitely could agree with you. You don't think Tyler Cook is undersized? I would love him to be the answer. I like it. Again, on this team, the way this team plays, nobody's undersized. Nobody. We have a 6'4" player starting at power forward. There is no undersized for this team. It's all about who you can defend, how you can play. No, I mean, yes. Traditionally, would you start a player like him at center? Probably not. But it is what it is. On this team, no. I mean, we're an undersized team in general. On the broadcast, they said the only Bull not to get COVID is. I thought so. Do you think Vooch will maintain? I mean, yeah, overall, I'm not saying that he's not going to still have down. He may have a couple of bad games back to back, but overall, over the course of the season, average wise, I do think Vooch is back. I think he's going to be solid for us. We've seen him put together what 3 solid games right now. Vooch is averaging 15.5 points, 10.4 rebounds per game, 3.5 assists, and a PER of 15.7. I want to see the PER get closer maybe to the 18-19 range. But Vooch is playing good this season. He's playing overall good this season. Extend Green at all. Green may have priced himself out. I would not be surprised. You remember David Nwamba when we had him? I would not be surprised if a team makes a sizable, not anything groundbreaker or anything, but considering it's the same offseason as Levine's extension, I would not be surprised if we end up getting priced out of keeping Javonte Green. Now, I hope that he wants to stay here, but yeah, I want to see Javonte Green as a Bulls player for years to come, but we'll see. We'll see. And Javonte Green I always forget he's older than what I think. He's 28. So best believe a player like him who hasn't made a lot of money in his career, if a team offers him a considerably bigger deal than the Bulls can, he's probably going to go. Now, if the Bulls make it far and, the Bulls offer him close to what he gets from other teams, he'll probably stay, right? If he take a bit of a discount. But if he gets a sizable offer, Javonte Green may not be here, man. May not be here. Let's see. Maverick, who should the Bulls play in the first? I've always said this. I want to see them play Charlotte in the first round. A ball versus ball brothers matchup in the first round in a playoff series. Sign me the fuck up for that. And I also think that would be just a damn right exciting series as well. So yeah, I would love to see that. Also, we don't get good spacing with Turner. The dude is not going to come off the bench. Bulls fans need to listen. Fans of every team make unrealistic trades, and Bulls fans, they've zeroed in on stuff. They mimic the minute Turner and Sabonis were reported as being available. Between those two and Grant, it's just not real. There is no way that a realistic deal for either of those 3 players happens at all. It's not happening. Jose didn't see that much to convince me that the Bulls could be that much better with Turner versus what exactly. I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. Oh, jab equals vaccine. I have never heard it called that before. Y'all just completely hit me. I had no idea. And I got to go back to the comment. I don't even remember what the comment was anymore. I don't remember. Yeah, it's too far back. I've lost it too far back. Sorry. I had no idea that jab was code for the vaccine. None. Coach Fleming on having Zach and DeMar. As we're going out, DeMar said, listen, stay with Zach. I'll play off him. Both of them are willing to sacrifice for each other. They lift each other up. No, that's what it boils down to. That's when people ask things like, is Levine, do you think it bothers Levine about nothing? Listen, these 2 players know that they're better together than anything that they could have done apart. They make the game easier for each other. Even if DeMar is the fourth quarter king, right? He's able to do what he's able to do out there because he has a threat of a player like Zach LaVine and Lonzo and everybody else out there with him. They know their importance, and they know to go far and to go where they think that they can go this season is going to take both of them. Both of them. 10 players out? Wow. Okay, well, that game might get canceled. I hope it doesn't, though. I hope it doesn't, but it may get canceled. Peace at Chicago Bulls Central and chat, wishing everyone a prosperous and peaceful holiday season. As a Gator fan, how is Chicago liking Billy D? Rooting hard for the Bulls, especially DeMarvelous. Listen, I love Billy D as a coach. I have my issues with some of the things he does, especially his slowness to make adjustments sometime mid-game. But overall, I love what he's doing. I think he's the perfect coach for this team, considering I was surprised that the Bulls were able to get him. And it says a lot about him wanting to be here that he took the deal, because he could have gone to a winning team or even took a year off, recouped all that money. So, yeah, I love the fact that he's here. Love the fact that he's here. Just going, trying to catch up to more recent comments. Let's go to this one. Corey, whoever doesn't think Levine is playing D this year is on crack. Like, they just don't watch basketball. You can't. There's no way that you can watch the actual game and not just looking at stat sheet or the play, how much the other players scored, and think Zach LaVine isn't playing solid defense out there. Again, I'm not saying he's a lockdown defender or anything else like that, but Zach is no longer getting lost. There were times in Zach LaVine's first season here that he just looked like he was like, you wouldn't think that he played a minute of NBA defense because he got completely lost, especially in off the ball defense situations. We're not seeing that anymore with Zach. We're not seeing, he's such an improved defender. Hawks fan, not gonna lie, fully healthy Hawks versus fully healthy, but that's a nice series as well. I think that would be a second round series, but that's a nice series as well. We're talking about Bulls first round series. I want to see them play Charlotte. Shay, love you, bro. What's going on, Shay? Love you too, bro. Love you too, man. Keto. Do you think the Bulls should have a better ring record? I think they should be first in the East. Well, keep in mind everything that they've dealt with, right? With COVID. On top of that, dropping 2 games that they shouldn't have against the Rockets and the Pacers back to back. If you the 2 games they lost before they finally decided to postpone the Bulls season when they let them stay out a week. Had they won those 2 games and also won one of the games against Houston or the Pacers, I think we would be first in the East. So, yeah, I mean, the Bulls definitely can get to first in the East. Definitely. It just depends on, will they? It depends on a lot of different things. Other teams are getting stronger. Kyrie's coming back. So the Bulls are going to have to continue to improve. They're going to have to fix a lot of their holes, but they're only 1.5 game back from first place right now. The Bucks are snipping at their heels, only half game back from us. It's going to get interesting in the East. This is probably going to be the best overall season for the Eastern Conference as a whole in a while. Things are going to get really, really interesting in the East once this COVID thing's over with. After the All-Star break, things in the East are going to be very, very close. Very, very close. Sorry, something started playing. Completely threw off my head there for a second. Julia, just subscribe to your channel. Thank you so much, Julia Jules. I appreciate you. If you like Bulls content, this is the place for you. Everybody in here will tell you that's follow me. You almost don't have to even get Bulls news alerts anymore. My studio's in my basement. I literally come down here the moment some news drops. We're down here. Halftime hangouts, live streams after games, no more pre-recorded videos. That's what I want to be here as a community for Bulls fans. But this is the thing that makes this channel special, is these live streams and the conversation. I'm having a conversation with you guys right now. I wanted these to feel like you're just sitting back talking with your friends about the game. And that's what I hope to be able to continue to execute. Javonte Green is under contract through 22-23. Is he? Oh, well, shit. Then I'm not worried about it. Let's see what Javonte Green's contract is. So he is on a 2-year deal. So, yeah, we have him for next season. He's a free agent at the end of next season. You're absolutely right. Look at that. Well, let's hope he continues to ball out. Do you think P. Will come back in time for the playoffs? I think so. It just depends on how far out from the playoffs and how does he look, right? How confident is he in his body and how many minutes they end up giving him? That's what I think is going to boil down to. Levante Rogers, what up, Haize? We thought it wasn't realistic to get Vooch. Never count out this front office, but I agree with the sentiment. Are you talking? Look, not being realistic is different from not having assets. The Bulls always had assets back then to trade for anyone. We had first round picks then. We had young players. We don't have those assets. It's not realistic. Again, to trade, the Bulls are probably not going to be able to trade Vooch. To get to get Grant, to get Sabonis, to get Turner, you're going to have to trade one of your big contracts, period. You just have to. A lot of those, like Kobe and Patrick Williams, is not getting traded. Kobe's not going to get you a lot. Vooch, they're not trading Vooch, I don't think. If they even are willing to trade Vooch, it's again, we don't have the other assets. Vooch is not going to be enough. Other teams can offer the Pacers or the Pistons lottery picks. The Bulls don't have those assets. So no, it's not just about being realistic. The Bulls don't have the assets to trade for those players, period. They just don't have the assets. Julia, the person asked you, do you think jab vaccine will affect the playoffs? I mean, this thing with COVID and it being Omicron, it absolutely can. Now we may see it work its way throughout the league. Maybe people build up herd immunity, but I mean, especially when you look at like Kyrie. Like, if Kyrie can only play in away games in the playoffs, that completely changes the outlook. If he gets the vaccine and can play at home games, that changes a lot of things. It just depends. It really depends. It really depends. Oh, Cognac Boys is in here. Is there any better wing 1-2 punch than Zach and DeMar? I don't think so. I don't think there is a better 1-2 punch in the league this season. Now it can be, right? Well, that's still not wing because Clay still has to come back. I mean, things can change, but right now, hey, it is what it is. Reginald, if Pat comes back late March, would you start him in the play? It depends on how he looks. It depends on how he looks. I think they bring him. Look, I mean, I said the same thing with Kobe. I said they're not going to probably give Kobe a lot of minutes right away. They almost came back. I think they started him off on a minutes restriction like 2 games, and then he was getting 20 plus minutes a game. So it really just depends on him and how his body responds. That's what I think he comes back to. Hawks fan, Kyrie is coming back. He is coming back for sure. Let's see. Ace, your channel is going to get to a point where you'll never be able to catch up to the comps. Hey, this is happening now. This is like I had to skip some to get here. That's for damn sure. D93, do you think we have a chance to win the Eastern Conference? I absolutely think we have a chance. We have a puncher's chance for sure. For sure. I definitely think that can happen. It just depends on a lot of other factors, but I definitely think it can happen. Keep in mind, this team still has played less than 30 games together. I know we played 30 games now, but we haven't had the full complement of players for a large part of that, for really the last 3 weeks. So because of that, I still think that we can improve. Now, the East is improving around us because of the things that I just said as well, but you know, at the end of the day, we'll see. But I trust the Bulls can match up with anybody. That's really what I think. Now I said we were going to go for about 40, 45 minutes tonight, and I'll usually go a lot longer. Tomorrow I'll have a much longer live stream for you guys afterwards. I'm still rebounding from Christmas and everything. So I'm cutting the stream a little bit shorter tonight. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll have a video out in the morning as well. Make sure you join us tomorrow. We'll have a halftime hangout. We'll have a live stream after the game as well. Make sure you follow us. We're Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. You can also leave us a voicemail if you want to, and our voicemail number is, I never remember it for some reason. You would think at this point now, 5 months in, I will remember it, 773-270-2799. Now tomorrow night, we will be doing a live call-in during the after show. So we didn't do that tonight because I knew I had that condensed time. But so the way that the live stream is going to work tomorrow night, I have my little part that I start off with talking about the game. I'll go to you guys' comments, and then we'll end the show with about a 20-25 minute period where I'll be taking live calls. So we got all of that. If the game is postponed tomorrow, I'll still have a live stream tomorrow night for you guys so we can talk about some things. Like anytime I'm able to do a live stream, even if a game gets canceled, I've historically still did that, and we'll just turn it into a call-in show the whole game. So be on the lookout for that. If those changes come, I'll make sure I announce it on the channel and everything. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight, man. Like I like to end every episode on and video, go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace.